Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to the second episode of Pro Club's Goalkeeper Tips on FIFA 18. And today you guys have been basically asking to talk about crosses, when to come out for them, how to come out for them, and what is the best thing to do to deal with them. And I've put together a few clips at the beginning to show you some examples of me dealing with crosses, and it could give you a good understanding of when I tend to come out and when I feel is the best time to really come off my line and try and punch it or catch it. One thing that I found, though, on FIFA 18 is that you tend to be, you definitely tend to be trying to punch the ball more than catch it. So I can't really tell you too many tips on when it will catch, because you can't catch every time. You can't tell your guy to catch. It kind of decides for you if it's going to be a punch or if it's going to be a catch. So the best time to come out for a cross is definitely any ball that is within your 6-yard box, which is, you can see me standing on the edge near now. But I probably wouldn't go any further than the penalty spot, and you can come out quicker on corners, and you can tend to get off your line quicker if you stand off a bit further for further balls and try and get that back post that you see there, like trying to claim that to make sure they don't get a header. And I feel that if it's a cross that you know is going to be coming in, you can kind of come off your line a bit more, and it gives you a good starting position. As you can see here from this corner, I'm standing on my 6-yard line and I'm ready for this cross, just because there's no point of being in my positioning circle, and they're going to go ahead and put the ball in, and that's easy. Me just claiming that, pushing it away, that little distance helps the load to my defenders. And I feel that if you start off your line a little bit further, it definitely does help in the long run for claiming and practicing crosses. And you don't have to stand off your line like I do. You can see me standing here. I come out for this. It's just past the penalty spot. Because I was standing that extra few yards off my line, it definitely came out a lot quicker. If I was standing in the recommended positioning circle, I would have been stuck in no man's land. I would have been just stood there, and they probably would have scored an easy header. So how do you actually come out for a cross? The way to do it is by holding Y or triangle on your controller, which is obviously the top button on the right hand side. You hold that, and when you get near the ball, you flick the right stick up, or you hold the right stick up, whichever you prefer, in the direction of the ball. So that's always up, because the ball is coming in for a cross. So I try and, as you can see, that you don't really see me catching many of them, because I haven't really got any clips of me catching. It's more just punches. But I hold Y to come out, and then I flick the right stick up, or I hold the right stick up in the direction, and my guy tends to punch the ball away. It is something that takes a little bit of practice. I've started to come out a little bit more in this game. That I feel like FIFA 18 allows you to come off your line a little bit more, and with headers being so overpowered, I feel that you have to try and come off your line, otherwise the defenders are put under a great amount of pressure. If you're playing something like VFL, which is obviously the Virtual Competitive League, where you've got 11v11 players, if you've got centre-backs, they can deal with it because they're obviously like very skilled. But if you're playing in a small man club in like the divisions, that I feel that the guy controlling any doesn't have the best control over his players, so he can't really switch to them easy enough to really header the ball away. So it's more up to you to try and come off your line, and don't be afraid of coming off your line either. But that's one thing, don't be afraid to practice coming off your line. If you're playing with people that you know, just tell them, I'm going to be trying to come off my line more, trying to claim more stuff in the box, and just try and, like, you may let in some goals, you may muck up, you may just be stood there, you may miss the ball. Those sort of things happen. They happen for me. They'll happen for you. They'll happen for any goalkeeper. The game isn't always the friendliest of things towards you. But if you can try and overcome that, if you can try and practice as much as possible, your teammates would definitely appreciate you being that goalkeeper that can come off his line instead of being stuck on the line. Because being stuck on the line, you leave your goal massive. There's obviously a load of space to shoot either side of you if they header it, and you just don't tend to be able to get as many headers on this game as you did on FIFA 17. So being dominant and coming off is definitely the thing to do on this game, and the more you can do it, I feel the more confident you'll be in goal. And obviously there is a skill game that you can do as well, which allows you to practice this. So if you want to do that, then obviously jump over to the skill games and go on the goalkeeper section. There's one that you deal with crosses, and it kind of tells you to kind of save the shot. But what I try and do on that one is I try and come out and actually intercept the cross instead of trying to save the shot, because I feel that it's better practice, and it's more like valuable practice than if you were trying to save the shot, because most of the time you aren't going to save it from 6 yards out. So I'd recommend doing that, giving that a go before you go online. And then once you're online, like I said, practice coming out as much as possible and learning when's the best time to come out, where's my start position, and when should I come out, when shouldn't I come out. For example, like I said, if you're starting on the 6-yard line 4 or 5 yards out, you can come out for stuff at the penalty spot. But if you're standing on your line, probably stay with stuff that's probably within or the 6-yard box and really just dominate that. But if you are a bit crazy and you want to try doing better, better claims, then definitely to start off your line and just practice from there and really give that a go. So what I'd say, guys, try doing that, and then let me know how you get on. I can cover crosses again in more detail. I can get more clips. to give you a better understanding and more detail at some point if you'd like. But anyway, that's pretty much all I've got to say about the crosses in FIFA 18. Hopefully it's been pretty valuable for you. So this is the part of the video now where I give you guys a quick Q&A where you've left questions on the last video, where I'm going to quickly answer them to give you a quick answer to your question or somebody else's question that may help you. But the bigger topics I'll obviously cover in a video. So FG Massacres 03 said, how do you do a double save? Double saves is basically all about positioning. It depends, like, if your guy can get up quick enough, or obviously the higher rated he is, he can get up quicker. And also it depends on where the second shot is going to be placed. If it's a bad shot, then it should be a nice easy double save, but it's a good shot, you probably have no chance. So Fear Kratos asks, is goalkeeping more consistent? As the first part of his question. It's probably a bit less consistent because of the animations you get given now. One-on-ones are a lot harder because you get weird animations. You just don't seem to be able to get down to them. I'll let you know how it goes when you get higher rated. I'm currently 88 rated, so I'm starting to save more one-on-ones, but as a lower rated, it's slightly harder. So the second part is, do you save more shots than 17? I feel like I do. I feel like my shot stopping on this is outstanding. The kind of the more animations give you more freedom. I feel like I'm definitely a better goalkeeper in this game. Joe Getty says, what difference does releasing L1 or LB do when saving a shot? So I feel when you release the LB button or the positioning button, I feel like you don't have any delay in your dive, but I feel like if you're holding it while you dive, I feel like you do have a delay, but that's just my opinion. Obviously, everybody has a different opinion on that. The next question is from Abu Bakr Chudri. He says, how do you save using the goalkeeper's legs? Using the goalkeeper's legs is probably something that is done automatically. If you hold down on a save on the right stick, your guy tends to use his legs a little bit more. Obviously, you can't really decide when he's going to be using his legs. It's just the animation that they give you when making a save. David Dominguez says, how long did it take you to download FIFA 18 on Xbox One? It probably took me about 30 to 45 minutes. My internet is slightly good, but it's not as good as it could be, so it took a little bit while, but not too long. I think it's about a 35-40 gigabyte download. Igor Borgazai says, it is more simple to save with a help circle. Try a video without it and then share it. Well, debatable. Obviously, if you play without a circle, then please do let me see some of your clips without it, because I would be intrigued to see how you get on. Obviously, if people are starting out goalkeeping, they don't really want to be playing without positioning circles. It does help them, and it's in the game for a reason. It doesn't make you better in any way. It just kind of puts you in position. Without it, it's pretty hard. So if you are playing without it, then please do show me. I would love to see. Emil Junes says, quick question. Are there still goalkeeper helmets in FIFA 18? Yes, there are. Volvo66 says, hey, can you assist me with crosses? Hopefully, this video about crossing has kind of given you the basics. If you want me to cover in more depth, then please do let me know. Billy M says, what's the best camera angle for a goalkeeper? Well, it is debatable, but I would probably say the pro angle, which is obviously the one I play on and you can see in this video. Some people would decide to actually use like tele or co-op. I don't know how it really works, but I know some goalkeepers do. It may give you a different perspective, but I feel like judging the ball better is definitely best on pro. Sagar Kappa says, how do you distribute on PS4? I would say it's probably the same as you do on Xbox. I would do a video in depth on it soon. In the next few episodes of Goalkeeper Tips, it will be about distribution and different types of distribution, so stay tuned for that. Morgan Griffiths asks, my goalkeeper is in a different camera angle to yours, how do I change it? Basically, just go to the settings on the menu and just change your pro camera or your online pro camera to whatever one you want to have it as. By Michael 14 says, could you cover 1v1s? Definitely, I'll be covering that soon in the next few episodes of my Goalkeeper Tips. Rapid says, played my first lot of games on semi to get used to it, still is really manual. It is pretty manual, yes. FIFA 17 is quite assisted, but FIFA 18 is definitely more manual than you would expect. Maybe try playing on assisted and see if that helps you. It's Nala Panda says, I'm 88 rated goalkeeper, ranked 15 in the world, but can't seem to save headers. I'm in the correct position. I release the L1 button, then dive correct way. My build is 6'5", 187. Can you help me, please? It seems like headers and any close reaction cross saves are just close to being impossible at the moment. Maybe they'll do a patch soon, but I can't really give you any other tip than to try and intercept the cross, because either way, I don't think you're going to be saving it. Annalise Marshall says, apparently you have to shuffle backwards if the cross is put back into your back post. Your keeper doesn't position itself. Is this true? You do have to try and get back quicker than the positioning circle gives you. I'd recommend just running back like manually yourself anyway, because the position circle doesn't update straight away if it's a fast back post cross. So just try getting used to run manual. Maybe try hold LT. That will kind of get your guy facing the right way. Fernando Tinoco says, how do you change the stupid animation the right stick on FIFA 17? The tight stick didn't move, or the right stick didn't move you sideways on this one, but it moves you. Like someone commented back to you, it reduces spammers, but I feel like it shouldn't move you anyway, because obviously everybody has those moments where you accidentally flick the stick and you can get moved out of position, exposed in your front post, and they just tap it in. One Schmeichel says, often when I'm 1v1, I hold wide to come out and my player does the slide tackle animation towards the striker, which often leads him to shooting beneath me or above me. How can I avoid this? And often my keeper doesn't jump, he'd rather just animate a save with the ball was at his chest. Any suggestions of what to improve on? I can't really help you with the one-on-one thing because I have the same issue at the moment. I'm trying to find out different solutions, different ways to get around that, because obviously when your keeper comes out, he doesn't really spread himself. He just kind of tries to do like a slide tackle on his knees to try and kick the ball away. But it's not very helpful, but hopefully they would sort it out soon, or I'll try and find a solution for you. Slidey Boy 420 says, I was about to play Goalkeeper, but then I changed it back to FIFA 17, so assistance is back. Boring. I wouldn't exactly say assistance is back. It's still pretty manual. It still takes skill to be decent at Goalkeeper. But I would say just play it if you enjoy it. So Alexandros says, how do you save high shots that comes near you? Please help me because I'm conceding because of it. Just aim the stick up in the direction that it's going to be going. Storm Drop says, is finesse shot still overpowered on FIFA 18? And my reply is, it's not as overpowered as it has been in previous years, but it's still pretty overpowered. I'd probably watch out for more of the power shots across your body. They seem to be pretty good, and they seem to be going in a lot this year. Luca Garino says, is it better to dive with the right stick or with the X button on PS4? Definitely the right stick, because I don't think the X button even works anymore. Mattis says, are headers still hard to save? Definitely, headers have always been hard to save. There's no real way to save them at the moment, apart from trying to intercept the cross, and hopefully this video has kind of taught you a little bit about that. So alright guys, hopefully you have enjoyed this episode of Goalkeeper Tips. Forgive me if I didn't get around to your questions. There have been so many questions, I couldn't answer them all, but please do comment on this video that you're watching now if I didn't get around to answering your questions, because I will get around to it next week. Obviously, keep this series going. The more questions you guys ask, the better it gets, because I can cover it more in each video. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Remember to smash that like button and subscribe. And turn on the channel notifications as well if you don't already, because the sub boxes don't seem to be working at the moment, so that's a bit of a shame. But either way, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this, and I'll see you soon.